people. Back again for episode 3 of A New North. It's exciting. I'm pumped. So, where did we get to last time? We were talking about building out fans, as you can see here, starting with 1, building out to 10. Now, I haven't done any of these tasks yet because it's the same day. I've just eaten a bit of lunch. So, but what I will do is add a little bit more to this future marketing tasks. Now, I think it's good to get them out of your head while they're there, get them on paper, and then it becomes sort of a bit of a checklist for things to do in the future. There's probably going to be a lot of these, I would say. And is it worth putting them under each individual thing? Probably. Oh, gosh. It's a podcast. Episode ideas. Cool. Marketing ideas. How do you market a podcast? No idea, but I'm sure we can figure it out together. So, I would say partnerships, reaching out to other podcasts. To interview the podcasters. Maybe sponsorships. Don't know what we would sponsor, given that we're doing it with no money, but gosh, I'm terrible at spelling. Is that right? I don't even know. Terrible. Sponsorships. Maybe we could give like consulting or advice. Advice around like brand style, tone of voice, product positioning, other ideas about how we could help them get in front of other audiences. Maybe cross-posting. It's kind of like partnerships and sponsorships. Syndication. This would consist of posting to blogs, press releases, social networks. Can probably be its own section, really. Facebook groups, Facebook pages. I don't know if you can post on Facebook pages. I think you can on some. Whatever. Hacker News, Reddit, Growth Hackers, LinkedIn groups probably be pretty strong, especially if the content was like B2B focused and all about, corporate stuff. I'm not saying we're going to do corporate stuff, but it might happen, so we'll see. So yeah, see what happens. Syndication, cross-posting. So what you can see is just getting everything down on paper. I think one of the things that people have, and I certainly used to have this predisposition, is to jump straight into doing all the activities. But I think if you just write them all down and you have a bit of a cheat sheet, if you have a plan, then you can sort of know where you're going to go. So something that we don't have on here is metrics. What are our goals? Actually, what are our KPIs, right? Which is basically goals, objectives. So maybe it could be the same as YouTube, right? 1 sub, 10 subs, 100 subs. Help me out, 1,000 subs. Now, I guess I will be cheating a little bit because back to SendFox, whatever it's called. SerpFox is a search engine tool. I have an Anchor podcast. It's awful, but it's still more than nothing, I guess, which a lot of people don't necessarily have set up. Log in again. Hello. So the reason I like Anchor for podcasts is it's really, really easy. Like it's super easy. Look at this. Hideous. But if you go through, you click through, you see Anchor FM, anchor.fm. What it basically does is there's an app and there's a web app, right? So if you've got one preference or another, you can jump on. But essentially, all it is you create podcasts. It's super easy to create a podcast. You can literally just talk into your phone or a computer, and then you can like cut it up in the app. But the cool part is it syndicates it to all these different platforms. So I've literally never been on Overcast, but if you click through here, you hopefully see my podcast. There you go. I've literally never been on this website, and all of my podcast episodes are listed there. So in terms of like distribution, everybody should be doing it. I haven't logged into this thing in ages either. I have no idea how many listens I have had. Let's log in and see what happens. Welcome back. Thank you. It's good to be back. In many ways I never left. Let's log in and have a look. And this is it. Bum, bum, bum. Easiest way to make a podcast. It really is. There's no like affiliate. I have no affiliation with these people. I just think it's really easy product to use. It's awesome. It's idiot proof. That's what I like about it. It's very easy to get caught up in the complexity, but it's a waste of time. You spend all your time on the complexity of the particular software you're using as opposed to just producing content, which is what you need to be doing. Cool. So 11 platforms from doing nothing. It's had 657 plays. Estimated audience size of 14. I've done nothing. You can also monetize it, which would be cool. If we were trying to like set some goals to like earn money or moolah, then that'd be cool. That's interesting. A majority of the listens come from Apple Podcasts in the United States. And they're generally male and they are generally between 28 and 34 years old. So you go new episode. And when you're on a new episode, then you just hit record. Then you can add like an intro message. You can have audio clips from your library that you've saved. You can have transitions. Then when you've added all that stuff in, you can actually add sponsorships in or ads. And that's where you can make a little bit of money from it. So I'm not going to do any more on this now, but that's just like a little bit of a run through. And that is definitely something, Command H to hide, that we will try and do more of. So podcast, KPIs, goals. So increase of subscribers. So this one's done because we've got 14 and this one's done because we've got 14. So let's not make it too easy for ourselves. Let's go 10,000 and then 100,000. Like wildly ambitious, but who cares, right? Like it doesn't matter if you don't hit it. It's a good goal. It's a big goal. Why don't we go even more ludicrous? 1 million. 1 million subs. Right? If you had 1 million subs on a podcasting app, you would be well on your way to doing some cool stuff, I reckon. So, okay, there's some very, very loose goals. We haven't got into like length of average listen, amount of like completion rates on any podcast and stuff, because I just don't know it. I'm sure we could find it out. That's a good place to start. Spend a bit of time focusing on the podcast. I think that's just a really easy entry point in as well, because like it's not that you can ramble, but like not that I'm not rambling now, but you can talk at length about different subjects and then sort of watch that audience naturally grow. It's super duper easy to get a lot of content out there in a very short period of time, especially considering it publishes to 11 platforms. And I'm kind of cheating with the video here as well, because I'm not editing, I'm shooting straight to camera and then uploading straight to YouTube. So like it's rough and it's ready, but that doesn't matter because we're producing content at speed, right? Which is the most important part. We're being super descriptive about what we're doing. We're saying, look, here is our cheat sheet of things that we want to do to try and grow this unknown entity into something. We don't know what it's going to be yet, but that's okay because it's a journey, and the whole fun is the journey. Like you don't, the goal is someone sees the finished product and goes, oh, that's amazing. How did they do that? Well, this thing is here so that you can come back and look at how we did it from the very start, right? And if there's enough of them and they're consistent enough and they produce enough value for people, then it's a self-perpetuating prophecy. So there's some ideas for a podcast. There's some KPIs for a podcast. And then there is some marketing ideas. I guess these are like podcast marketing ideas, right? And then that rounds out our podcast section. Cool. How good's that? We have made KPIs for our podcast. We have put down some rough ideas for episodes for the podcast. And we have built out some marketing ideas fit with things like partnerships and syndication for the podcast as well. And in the next episode, we'll jump into the next medium and then make a plan for that. And then when we've gone through all of the individual things we think we want to do, then we'll pick one at a time and we'll just go at it. We'll chip away and see what sort of a dent we can make. And we'll do it over and over again until we start to get a bit of traction. We start to get a few likes. We start to get a few subscribers, few listens, few comments. It's going to be exciting. Stick around. I'm happy you're here.